Welcome back to Clogged Garage, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am, because I'm working on the old Gen 1 Toyota Tacoma SR5 with 3.4 liter. Gonna be changing the oil. So let's talk about, how do you know you have a clogged oil filter? There are many signs. According to this tag here, I haven't had oil changed in this thing since December 2nd of 2019. This was before I owned the truck, of course, so this will be my first time changing the oil in it. And so if you got that many years and miles on it, you can guarantee that you'll have some of these signs. So low oil pressure, that's going to be because your filaments all clogged up and your oil pump is having a very difficult time pushing oil through your engine. So low oil pressure is one of them. And there's going to be a lot of signs of having, also double with having low oil because of this oil pressure. Engine overheating, of course, because that oil's not there to cool it down, transfer the heat, and your components are going to be they're not going to be as lubricated, so you're going to have a lot more friction there, which is going to create more heat and will cause some poor engine performance. You'll have difficulty accelerating because your engine is going to have a difficult time moving, and as it gets hotter, of course, it also has poor engine performance that way. I'm experiencing all that, really low acceleration, seems a bit laggy, even though, it's a Gen 1 Toyota, not known for being super big power horses or really fast, but I bet you that we could do better. Just changing the fuel filter helped out a lot. I bet you the oil filter is going to help out a lot too. Exhaust smoke will emit a little bit of black or dark smoke, and then of course dirty oil. Oil is atrocious. So what I did in addition to this is I ran some Marvel Mystery Oil. Let me get you a jug here. Okay, Marvel Mystery Oil. I got a fresh jug here, but I ran a quart in my engine for last couple Phillips at least. You want to put in at least a good 500 miles in there. And Marvel Mystery Oil, if you don't know anything about it, besides things you heard on the internet, you've never used it before, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's been in production for over 100 years. It was originally designed to throw in submarines after they'd come back from deployment, and they would run it through the engine to clean up all the gunk, because they'd throw some really thick sludgy oil in there, and this would help clean that out. It's mostly mineral oil and a mineral solvent, and then it has a heat polymer, anti-wear agent, and a carbon softener. And that carbon softener is what we're really after, because it breaks up all the carbon in there. And from what I could tell from pulling the valve covers on this thing, it ran pretty hot, and it had a lot of caked on oil everywhere. So I imagine the oil channels needed a good cleansing. And so this will run through your entire oil system, get all the gunk cleared out of it, and make it run nice and smooth. And so now that I've done that, and I've ran the engine for a little bit, went and took my dog for a walk, got it all nice and hot, now that oil should be back in my oil pan by now and cooling down, so I'm ready to change my oil. And that's one thing you want to do, is make sure that your engine is a little warm, your oil's a little hot, not so hot that it burns you, of course, but hot enough to where it kind of loosens it up a bit, makes it a little more pliable. Because, when oil's hard, it has a very high viscosity, it's really thick, so this will help thin it out and help you drain more of that bad oil out. Okay, so those are the signs you have a clogged oil filter, and this stuff is great. You can also run it in your run a little bit in your fuel. I run it in my diesel fuel sometimes, helps lubricate the whole system, clean things out, cleans the injectors. It works great. I even put it in my chainsaw too. This stuff says for autos, trucks, boats, motorcycles, tractors, 2- and 4-cycle engines, and airplanes. They left out submarines. But anyway, it's been using this for 20 years. More than 20 years now. Works great. Okay. For you Gen 1 Toyota guys, let's go ahead and change this oil. Okay, the size that we need is a 14 millimeter. So, I'm gonna get that ready. There we go. Okay, drained out. Made not so smooth execution getting that bolt out. But we will go ahead, put this back in. Find that hole there. There we go. Torque. All right, here is the trick here. So you can actually reach your oil filter this little flap opening. Wish I would have looked at this before I got started. That would have been a lot easier. It comes right out. Because right down in here and underneath you got the A-arm and skid plates and control arms. You got all kinds of junk in the way. So you can't really get your hand up in there. And the filter won't come out that way either. But this little flap here, peel that back and you can get right in there. So this filter has seen better days. I'm going to go ahead and swap in the new one here. Got a brand new one right there. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to take some oil and rub it around the seal of the old guy before I screw that back in. And this will lubricate that seal. And when we're tightening it up, it won't break the seal or cause it to fall off or anything with all that unnecessary friction. Okay, all oiled up. Get my hand in there. This just has to be on there hand tight. Let the seal do its job. Okay. And there she is. Alright, these bad boys take 5.5 quarts, 5W30. It's got some good old Napa brand here. You can use whatever flavor you like. And try not to pour this everywhere. Okay, last thing you want to do, let it all drain down there. Go ahead and check your dipstick. And we are, you probably can't see shit, but we're right in between those two lines, a little closer to the second line. Up. So, good enough. Alright, last thing we gotta do is start it up, pull it out of here, and let it cycle for a couple of minutes, and go take it for a drive. Circulate that oil. Already feeling like it's running a lot smoother. So that's good. Cold starts should be a little easier now too. Back up on that here. Yeah, it's already idling a lot better. So that oil filter must have been super clogged. Okay, I'm gonna let this warm up for a little bit. I'm gonna go finish running my errands. But that is everything you need to know to change the oil in one of these old Gen 1 3.4 Toyota Tacomas. Not the worst job. I'm glad I figured out how to get to that oil filter through the little sneak access point. That made it a ton easier, because there's really not a lot of space to work around in these trucks if you're not a midget. But such is the way of things. That's why I got this truck, the little mini truck, and it's fun to, it fits in tight spots. But everything has to be compact as a result of that. Otherwise, you know, otherwise might as well take my 1 ton. Everything's pretty easy to access in that guy. rig, the Alaskan overland rig. Alright guys, that's everything you need to know. You know what your signs are for a clogged oil filter. Change your oil at least once a year. I think the average is like 3,000 to 5,000 miles, so maybe even twice a year for some guys. For my diesel, it's every 10,000 miles. But either way, I don't put a lot of miles on these trucks, so I like to change it once every year. And since I just got this truck not too long ago, the schedule for this truck will be, every spring I'll change the oil, and so it'll be pretty much on the same schedule as my other truck. Don't forget to get your Marvel Mister oil and run that through, because that's going to clean out your engine, clean out your oil pump, clean out all the journals and channels, and it's gonna make your engine just run that much smoother, that much better, and then keep it that much more clean. But in conclusion, that's it. Bob's your uncle. Easy job to do. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here and go do something else. Later, guys.